What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have Kelly Cobbett, also known as Leanne Kelly. That is her stage name, Leanne Kelly. Look it up. Leanne Kelly. Yeah, she's out of Norfolk, out there in the UK. And you're going to get to hear a little bit more about this country music singer-songwriter in the next few minutes. So stick around. This week's shows, I have two public shows, my regular gigs on Friday and Saturday night. So excited to have two public shows. Friday night, I'll be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, my usual Friday night gig from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM with the video dance party. Karaoke Jam. Yes, I said karaoke. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you. Come on out to the Rab. Sing a song. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open. They got 10 diamond style pool tables. Oh, they got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you check out the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Good times to be had right there. Big giant dance floor. We light it up, and you get to be the stars of the show. I'm just pressing buttons. Let me press a button for you. And then on Saturday, I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, at Mr. Brews, BREWS, Tap House in Little Rock, Arkansas, at the Park Plaza on University Drive from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. They got good food. Oh, my goodness. On the sign, it says, get your favorite burger with your new favorite drink. They got 48 different types of beer on tap. I look, and they have this whole row of taps. It's impressive. It's very impressive. They got a nice big room, and of course, yours truly with the video dance party, Karaoke Jam. Have some food, have some drinks, bring everybody. Because the Friday night gig at the Rab is 21 and over, but on Saturday, it's from 6 p.m. until 10, and it's a restaurant, and I keep it PG, unless there's no kids around. But if you bring the kids, if you bring Grandma Molly, hey, they make it a family affair. It's a good time. It's good for my soul that I get to have families come and sing songs. And the little kids, oh my goodness, we got some talented kids that have been coming for the last few weeks. That's my newest gig, is the Saturday night gig at Mr. Brews from 6 to 10. And I'm so excited. I'm getting regulars that have been wanting me to come to Little Rock, Arkansas. They've been missing me, and I've been missing them too. So come on out. Friday night, 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. And then Saturday at Mr. Brews in Little Rock, Arkansas at the Park Plaza from 6 p.m. until 10 in the evening. All right, that's enough intro. Let's get into it. I got Leanne Kelly on Zoom. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Leanne Kelly now. Ha ha! What is happening?
Gremlins in the works today. There we go.
Oh, we are smarter than the machine. No problem at all. So is it Kelly Cobbett or is it Leanne Kelly? Or is it both? What shall I call you? What is in a name?
Exactly. My songwriting stage name is Leanne Kelly. So we'll go with that one.
Leanne Kelly. Now, I have both that are going to be scrolling underneath you. So that way the people won't have any trouble finding you. They'll be stalking you, courtesy of the What Makes You Famous podcast. Welcome to the show. All right. I think we're going to have a little bit of a delay, but that's technology as we see it, as it happens. I got to start with, all right, before I ask you what or who a Leanne Kelly is, I got to find out, is Norfolk the chalk and cheese? Never heard the term chalk and cheese until I heard your song Like I Do, and it's got to be regional. Is it something that Norfolk only? Chalk and cheese? Never heard of it.
You're not the first person in America to say that. It's used all over England. It's chalk and cheese, two different things. The furthest end of the scale. Chalk is nothing like cheese. So black and white. But I didn't realise that USA didn't use that phrase. I thought they'll know what it is. No, I was very shocked because it went out to a publisher and they were like, I love the song, but what does chalk and cheese mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? What does chalk and cheese mean? Is it chalk and cheese? And they were like, no, I never heard of it. And I'm like, really?
Okay, this is a term for things that don't mix. I can tell by the context. I get it. I think our most popular term for that is oil and water. They don't mix.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, yeah.
Now, is that something that you use over in the UK as well? Do you use oil and water?
Not really as a phrase, no, but I get what it means straight away, yeah. So we're a chalk and cheese and you're an oil and water kind of guy.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound appealing at all. And I know I'm kind of an Anglophile, and the thing that gets made fun of probably the most when you talk about the UK, because when you travel throughout the world, you want to sample their culture, and a lot of their culture is the food. And I don't want to make fun that, are you serving up chalk and cheese at any of your pubs, any of the restaurants? Is that on the menu?
No, definitely not. The cheese maybe, but just not the chalk.
All right, then. The chalk is what you use to write the daily specials up on the board. Perfect. All right, we got this. That's a perfect way to start. Leanne Kelly. What is a Leanne Kelly? Who is a Leanne Kelly? Give the people an idea for those that haven't had the pleasure of visiting your many social websites and finding out more about you.
So I'm a UK country music artist. So I may live in the UK, but I may as well live in America. I think I was born in the wrong country. I've been singing all my life, always been country, professionally doing it for 15 years, and writing my own stuff for about 13 years on and off, given, a bit here, a bit there, and then stopped because we were really busy on the cover circuit. And then I wrote a new album last year, which is Dream Chaser. And then I've been writing ever since. It just keeps coming at the minute. So yeah, I'm an English girl, but country music at heart. Cowgirl.
All right, Leanne Kelly. I'm a fan of all things UK. It's particularly the music. I think I grew up in the 70s. I was born in 69, but I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I did have a love for the first wave in the 60s, and then the new wave in the 80s. That's where I live. But listening, I'm a child of the MTV era. Rest in peace, MTV. I know it just died just at the beginning of this year. It won't, and it hasn't played music videos in the longest time. But the first time that I had my mind blown by listening to a person from the UK in an interview, and the difference, the way they sing and the way they talk. Yes, you don't have an accent. I have an accent. That, from your perspective, I'm the one with the accent. You invented the language. But when I heard Mick Jagger in an interview on MTV, and he was so polite and so wonderful, so reserved, had that beautiful English accent, and I know it's regional. Your accents are the same as if you go from one part of the United States, New York, to another part of the states, California, to another part of the states, Arkansas, like where I'm at, or Texas. You'll have different regions. And I know your accent's probably not like his, but when you sing, it's so Americana. That's the thing, is when Mick Jagger sings, it's only rock and roll. Every once in a while, he'll put on the accent, but for the most part, it's as American sounding as I am. I can't. Is that something that you put on? Because I know there's some English music that probably wouldn't make it over here otherwise, where you'll have that accent prominently displayed. Are you cognizant of that? Are you aware when you sing?
I have no falseness. My voice is my voice when I sing. Yeah, I know that I do have a few acts that really put on a twang, but I find it's just too much. It's too much. Mine is just the way it comes out. I don't hear it. I only hear English. I don't think I sound American enough. But a lot of people have said, oh, you've got a lovely country voice. And it's like, thought it was just English. But there we go. I suppose you hear different things, don't you?
Yeah, once you put it out into the world, it becomes the property of the listener, the consumer of that art. As you put it out there, and it's got to be so, I guess, soul-bearing when you put a song out into the world, or you create this art and you put it out there. I've made this for you. Do you like it? Will you please take a listen to it and let me know what you think? And don't be so harsh, because I don't think I could take the criticism so much. But for you, I imagine everything is just fine. Your songs are so sweet. I don't think that there is a hard, even the Like I Do is about like relationships and things like that. But your songs are so sweet. And I appreciate that you take the time to make music videos out of them. They're very elaborate. You got to tell me, are they being, are they AI? I got to come out and say it. Is that AI? Are you using the tool as it's put out there for you?
It's an AI app, and you just put your ideas. Like I do, when I wrote it, I knew in my head how I wanted it to look. But obviously, making your own videos is so expensive and time consuming, and the AI, I suppose the AI is an easier and cheaper way of getting the video out there. And that's, you need the video to get the views, to get the numbers up. So it's like a catch-22. I mean, I'd love to be able to do, a normal video. I've got a new song coming out on June the 19th. And it's very much, it's a very different sound for me. It's very honky-tonk sort of sound. And again, I've got the vision of exactly, I know how I want it. And I would love to do that one myself, but we will have to see. Music is expensive.
Well, I know that making movies and music videos and any kind of visual arts have been getting gradually less and less expensive. There's been movies that have been made entirely on an iPhone. I know that there's filters that they put on the iPhones and boom mics and other pieces that you can add to your iPhone to make it look a lot more professional. But the basic part that is making the visual media is the phone itself. You can take an iPhone or an Android phone and make a video. Yeah, and people do it all the time. You're on an iPad right now, and I'm on a computer. I think our setups are a little different, but for the most part, it gets less and less expensive. Those cameras that they used to use when visual media was brand new used to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, for about $1,000, you can make a decent quality video. And I don't know how much the AI is. You're using that tool for good. a lot of people are afraid of AI. I use AI, the chat thing, to look things up. I hardly use Google anymore. If I'm looking for some information, I use a large language model to scrape even more information than your typical search engine would do. I don't know if you do that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the trouble is, I think a lot of people don't like AI because it's taking over, but it's there's no stopping it. It's going to happen. So, as long as it's being used for good, then, I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there doing songs now. We're struggling over here with, AI songs that have been written and produced by AI. So obviously that's not great because it's putting songwriters out of work. But I'm hoping that will settle down eventually once people get bored of it.
Yeah, I think the number one country song recently was an AI song. I don't even remember what the name of it was. It wasn't memorable to me. And someone of flesh and blood has the feeling when they put their voice to the microphone. You have a feeling. I don't think an AI, I don't think a robot could develop a feeling that would come through when they sing their songs. At least not yet. It could happen soon.
It could happen, but not at the minute.
So, I mean, are you opposed to giving AI a prompt or a chat bot a prompt and tell it, hey, write this song for me in the style of Leanne Kelly? Or are you still putting pen to paper? Or how do you kids write songs these days? Are you still putting pen to paper, or are you using an app on your phone so you can talk to text?
I do a bit of both. If I'm out, my lyrics come from, I don't know where they come from. I often wonder if I get a lot from somewhere else. They just throw them in and go, there you go, have that, see what you can do with it. But I have books and books and books of paper and pen that I have written, and phrases and words. And I do, if I'm out, then I will pick up my phone and record me talking into it or write it down on notes. But no, I haven't used AI. I write because I like to write. They're personal to me, and I don't think as soon as you start then using AI, it's gone, isn't it? There's no personal stuff to it. Then it's gone.
Well, I've been listening to creators time and time again over the last year, where you'll have authors that write books, filmmakers that make movies, songwriters that singer-songwriters such as yourself, and I lost my train of thought for a second there, but I'm sure I'll get back on that choo-choo in just a minute. But the muse, what you were just brushing upon, do you believe that there's a muse, a force in the universe that helps you to write those songs, that they come from a place like you're possessed? They come through you and not from you. Do you feel that there's a helper in this universe that's helping you write songs?
I do think so, yeah, sometimes, because when I wrote my first album in 2013, and then we were really busy on the circuit, like we do a cover circuit of line dance and sort of country, and I sort of stopped writing for a while and everything dried up. Then my mum got poorly in 2024, and on my first album, me and my dad had a separate, my mum and dad got divorced before I was born, so my dad's and my relationship was very splintered. And when I started to get to my teens, I sort of, pushed away from him completely. And it wasn't till I was an adult that we sort of reconnected. And he was also a singer. So we sort of connected through the music, which was great. But there was a lot that I needed to say to him. And I didn't want to do it face to face in case he ran off. He didn't want to hear it. And I woke up, it was about 3:30 in the morning, and I just had these lyrics going round and around in my head. And I woke up and I thought, I need to get them out because they're driving me mad. So I wrote it down on my phone and then went to sleep. Woke up in the morning, and then I recorded the song as it had been written overnight. And that was to him. And And then, like I said, I stopped writing for a bit, and then my mum got poorly, and I felt really guilty that I hadn't written for her. And there was just something that I needed to write, and I was going down to see her in hospital, and I just had these lyrics given to me. It was like a chorus, and I worked on the chorus. It was Willow Tree, and then I worked on it at home, and I ended up with Willow Tree as a song, which was really my mum's life story, and cut down into pieces. And I thought that was it. I thought that's all I'm going to do. But they didn't. They kept coming, and it was just one after the other. And I was going to stop at 8 and do an album, and then it went to 10, and then it went to 12, and I was like, I need to stop now, because I'm never going to get this album out. It was already 6 months late. So, and then I thought, oh, that's it. The Dream Chaser's done. Get on with stuff. Like, they didn't stop coming. And I'm quite lucky, touch wood. I get the words and melody at the same time, or have done so far. And I was walking through the door the other couple of weeks ago, and longer than that now, and I just got Roll 'em High, Roll 'em Low, Roll 'em Any Way You Want 'em to Go. And that's the new song that's coming in June, on the 19th. It's called Roll 'em. And I don't know where that came from. It was like someone just threw it at me and said, oh, see what you can do with that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like you got inspiration from your parents. I'm sorry about your mother. I'm guessing she passed then?
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Well, and you still get inspiration from her. You still write songs about her, and you'll keep her name, her memory alive forever. That's how we live forever, is we put stuff out into the world that has staying power. Beethoven, my favorite of the classics, still playing his songs, still to this day, hundreds of years later. And that's all you can hope for, is that you leave a mark on the world, that people will remember you. The last person that remembers you, that's the second death. I know that's a paraphrase from an author that the name eludes me at this point, but you die one time, and then the last person that remembers your name or speaks your name, that's the second time you die. And so, but you putting the music out into the world, and putting a little description of your mother and your father, it's odd. I think we have semi-similar stories about the parents. When I was growing up in the 80s, I thought all parents have been divorced. My dad either left, my biological father either left before I was born or just when I was born. I never got the straight answer on that. And I saw him maybe 10 times over the years till I was 17, and I lost track of him. And then many, many years later, I must have been in my 30s, my grandmother said, oh, your dad died. And I didn't know how to feel about that. I hadn't seen him, and he really hadn't done a lot for me. I was sad that he passed away, but we didn't have that much of a relationship. I'm glad that you reconnected with your dad. Is he still around?
He passed about 2 years after I wrote the song. Yeah, but he was only 64, so I lost them both quite young, actually. So, but I have memories. I had good memories before he went. I don't know all time, but we back there before.
Yeah, it's not connected. Your family are the ones that are going to back you up more often than not. There's nothing so important as family, and I think I learned that from Gene Hackman in one of the Tombstone movies. There's nothing so important as family. And I took that line out of that movie, and it's been a part of me. I know my life in the movies. I take lines from pop culture, from songs, and they mean a lot to me. That chalk and cheese thing is just going to stick with me. I'm going to have to use that at some point. Get it out of my mouth in a crowded room. Maybe this weekend at the club, when I'm talking about Leanne Kelly and I'm playing Leanne Kelly's video up on the wall, which is one of the things that I'm supposed to be doing as a club DJ, is playing the new music, playing the songs, especially the people that I talk to on this podcast. I get to break out those artists at the club, and people will go, "Who is that?" I'll say, "That's Leanne Kelly. Look up her music. Check it out." That's one of my jobs when I'm on the radio. Same thing. I'm introducing your song. I don't play instruments. I've had guitars. I think there's an ukulele back there. There's a harmonica up there somewhere. There's a full keyboard professional piano out there. Can't play a lick. I'm in awe by people like you that can have ideas wherever they come from, whatever muse brings them into your skull. You put them out to paper, and somehow you have the talent to sing it in your soft, sweet little voice and make it country. And no twang, no put on. It's all Leanne Kelly.
On me.
Fantastic.
And then look at you. You can talk. You're a good host, and talking is obviously your talent. You may not be able to play musicians, but you can keep people you can keep people talking, the conversation going. It's quite hard to be a compere and, radio and all that.
Well, I like learning from people. I like learning about what makes you tick. Kelly Cobbett, a.k.a. Leanne Kelly. And people are going to be stalking you. I hope that you get the bump. You get people that are chasing after you. And I'm appreciative of Tara with the big records for putting us together. They've been, I've been kind of in association with them. I don't work for big records, but I know that they've been sending me a lot of talent, and you're no exception to that talent, that pool that they help to push. I don't think they make records, and that's the other thing. You said you had 8 songs, 10 songs, and you made an album. Do people make albums anymore? What are you kids doing? Are you pressing records? Are you making CDs? Are you making cassette tape?
I've got CDs. I take CDs around with me, and also USB. Quite a few people ask for USB ports, sticks. And obviously you get the downloads, but you don't. You get them. You sort of make your money on the hard copy that you're selling at gigs, rather than the downloads. Downloads are practically, there are a few cents here and there. So.
Well, that's a nice thing about going to a Leanne Kelly show, is afterwards you have the merch table. You'll get to see the person. An independent artist has to go that one step further. When I first started back in the 80s, it was 2 turntables and a microphone. And I hardly ever used the microphone because I had an MC. And then sometimes the MC would be me, and I would have a DJ behind me. We'd mostly be a 2-man team. And then we'd have a rapper that would come by, and I would have to take break beats and sample the music. So if it was a part of the Leanne Kelly song that had just music, I would have 2 Leanne Kelly records on both turntables and play this part of it, of the instrumental, and this part of the instrumental, then this part of the instrumental, then this part of the instrumental. Meanwhile, the rapper is rapping over this country beat. Now, who's making the beats for you? Are you playing the music? Are you going to a studio and playing the music, or do you have a studio at the house? Who's producing all this music for you?
I have a fella that lives up north, so higher than me, up the country. He's had a band for a long time. It's called John Paul Taylor, and he's done all my backing tracks for me. So I give him the lyrics and melody playing, and then I give it to him and sort of tell him how I want it to sound. It doesn't always come back the way I think it's going to come back, but he's brilliant, and he does all of the music, the instruments for me, and puts it together, and gives me a full track back. Yeah.
Well, tell me about the line dancing. Are you playing line dance music? You know what's funny? Okay, we have a governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and just today, one of my friends sent me this letter that had letterhead from the governor of Arkansas, and it said, line dancing is legal. Something to the gist of line dancing is illegal. And it lists a few line dances. Now, I knew it was a complete joke. I have done weddings at the governor's mansion, and I've had Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor of Arkansas, the current governor, come behind the DJ table and ask me for a line dance. So, yeah, I know that it was a complete joke. But are you playing line dance music? Because people, I do karaoke shows as well, and they'll say, hey, can I sing the cha-cha slide? And I go, you want to sing the cha-cha slide or want to play cha-cha slide? And most of the time they, oh yeah, just play it.
So we've had a country circuit in England, in the UK, for going right back to the 70s, 80s. But it was very much, your listening or your normal country music, as I'd call it. And then when Billy Ray Cyrus released Achy Breaky Heart, it went mental over here, and that's when the line dance came in, and then the choreographers started playing. But now we have a huge, huge circuit of line dancers, and it is all the songs. So I say line dance music. So Ella Langley, for instance, Choosing Texas. That's very, very popular over here. Someone's written a dance to it, so that when you go around the clubs, the line dancers are waiting for you to be singing Ella Langley, Choosing Texas. So, but I do throw a few of my own in there. And I've had a couple of line dances written to Like I Do, and another one of my songs. So, so yeah, we have this line dance circuit, and we have the club circuit, but we've also got this massive influx of youngsters of, up 14 upwards that are just loving the American country and the American artists coming over. And it's just growing and growing and growing and growing. And it's massive over here at the minute, the country. Absolutely huge.
Well, I'm from Miami, Florida, which is at the bottom, eastern bottom of the United States. But now I find myself in Arkansas. And any song that mentions Arkansas, like Billy Ray Cyrus's Achy Breaky Heart, Tell My Ma I Moved to Arkansas. I think it's a hoot, especially when I play it at the club, and I'll turn that part up and make sure that everyone sings along to that part. Now, that Choosing Texas, that is a banger. People are singing that one at karaoke as well. But you've hit a thing that makes songs have staying power. You could either have a Christmas song that you hope will come back every year. It'll get more and more downloads. You've made that Christmas song. Mariah Carey can't be the only one that's making money off of Christmas music. Okay, there has to be room for Cobbett, for Leanne Kelly's music. But there's also another way to do it. You can develop a dance that has more audience participation. Maybe, there's even parts where you sing along. You get the people to say, like I do, or the chalk and cheese part. You get the people to, like chalk and cheese. Okay, cool, Or you make a line dance out of it. The twist, the funky chicken, the monster mash, which is a song about a song. It always makes me laugh. It's not, the Monster Mash is not the song. It's a song about the song called the Monster Mash. Anyway, but you're making line dance music. I like that so much. And Billy Ray Cyrus, I guess you can do kind of the electric slide to that. I know I saw Marsha Griffiths at the turn of the millennium. I saw Marsha Griffiths and she turned that song into like a 20-minute line dance song. And she was, it's electric. Do you do the pop music songs in country version, or is it all country?
The circuit does have the pop side of stuff, but I don't sing the pop side. I refuse. I'm country through and through. Well, I steer away from them.
There's a line dance group here in Conway, Arkansas, called the Rowdy Roundabouts, and they have a club that they kind of got their name from. It's called the Roundabout, and they have line, and if there's too many people that can't fit in the club, they will clear out the parking lot and play music outside and get the people dancing. So you'll have hundreds and hundreds of people dancing in the parking lot, just having a good old time. When you get people to participate, all right, there's I do a lot of weddings on Saturdays, on the weekends, and there's sometimes I have to tell the brides and grooms, don't ruin your wedding by not letting me play a line dance song, because sometimes Aunt Molly and Grandma June will not dance to any other song. They are afraid to dance with other people, but you give them a line dance, oh yeah, I'll get up there and do the line dance. Or do you do the Get Up? That's a country type song, the Get Up song.
They did. There was a bit of a phase going through in England with that one. It was more of a fun thing, and I think social media picked it up, so it went a bit crazy. But then it died off. That one died off. But we've still got, like Patti Loveless, Mr. Man in the Moon. That was massive over here, and that's still. I mean, that is so old now. Like, it's been on the circuit such a long time, but it's still danced. You can sing that, and the floor will be full, even though it's getting on now.
Yeah, just looking at your YouTube page, just a full dance floor. It must make you happy. That energy coming off of that floor must make the feelings. We talked about the muse, the energy in your song. But when you're playing songs, between you and the audience has got to be. I mean, I feel it. I feel it when I'm playing music, and I all I do is push buttons. Hopefully I push the right button that gets the people dancing. I'll push the Leanne Kelly button this weekend, and they'll be dancing. They'll be saying, "Ooh, that's a sweet song. That is cool. Who is that?" Leanne Kelly.
Yeah, I feed off my audiences. The more they give me, the more I give them, and it's like a push and pull and push. Yeah, so the more they give me, the more I give them. So yeah, I do definitely feed off my audiences.
Yeah, it makes you want to come back. It makes you want to keep doing this job. I don't know if you have a day job. Most independent artists have to have something during the day that keeps them going, something steady. I know in the States, our insurance, our health insurance, our dental, our vision insurance is tied to a job. An employer usually provides that. So people will get a day job so they can get insurance. And then their night job doesn't suck their soul so much. Not that my day job sucks my soul, but I'm saying, you need that. Oh, I guess you don't have that problem in the UK with the universal insurance. Are you doing music full time? Are you able to sustain your life?
I'm now a full-time musician. So we tour sort of, an average week is sort of 3 gigs a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But then we will get a few that are sort of, so last week we were out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you get a big week. So yeah, it's full-time music now, which is, I'm lucky.
Yeah, that's nice when you can bet on yourself. I know in 2004, I've been doing this since '86, and I was a firefighter. I was a EMT. I worked at the hospital. I've done a lot of Joe jobs, a lot of jobs in addition to working on the radio and talking into microphones as well. But in 2004, I gave everything up, and I just permanently started talking into microphones for a long time. Now I have a Joe job that provides me the insurance. It's just you cannot get that. I need to take care. I have people that count on me. I have a family. I don't know if you're a married woman and you have a family, if you have someone that provides for you as well, that you're working together. Do you have a teammate?
Yeah, I do. He was a mechanic, fully qualified mechanic. And then when I started the music, I sort of said to him, I started with a band. I had a 6-piece band to begin with. And then some of the clubs, we were too big for some of the clubs. So I then thought, well, I'll start a duo. So I said to my husband, who'd never played guitar, I said, we've got a duo gig in 3 months' time. You need to learn to play guitar. And that was that. So so we go out on the cover circuit, the line dance circuit, we go out as a duo. So we're both full-time musicians.
Oh, yeah. Man, that's sad to hear because you need more mechanics. These old man in 3, 2, 1. These kids today, they just want to be famous. They don't want to do jobs. They don't want to get a vocation. They don't want to get a career. There are no doctors, lawyers. There's no mechanics. There's no people that are working with their hands anymore. Okay, rant slightly over. I know I'll rant again, but a lot of them want to just do this. The large percentage of kids in school that get asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Famous. I want to be famous. What are you doing working towards that? You're a musician, so you're working towards that. You could be famous, but that's not your sole interest. I can already feel that. Your sole interest is to provide the music, let that muse work through you or to you or around you, and then play that music for the people. They get up off their couches, away from their big screen TVs, and they go out to a Leanne Kelly country music show. They're going to get something. They're going to get something good. Just looking at the videos tells me, oh, that was worth it. And I'm guessing that's your husband on the guitar on the Like I Do live show and Trailblazer.
Yeah, we work well. I mean, a lot of people, they think, I could never work with my partner, but we actually get on better when we're together than we are when we're apart. So he had a bad accident in 2019. He broke his back in a car accident.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that put us off the road for a while. And it wasn't till then that you realise self-employment is like, oh, now what? So, and then, of course, as we come out of 2019 into 2020, we went into lockdown, didn't we, with COVID. So then we were off the road again until COVID had been and gone. So I think that was the only bit that you sort of think, self-employment musician, yeah, it's not great when something like that happens. But, we got through it, and he's still here, so which is good. It could have been a lot worse than it was. So he did it in the May, and I had him back out on the road in the August.
Wow. You're a driver. Did you whip him?
We did.
Oh, my goodness.
I think he needed that push. He needed to fight to get back up on his feet and start walking. And I think especially with COVID and that, when that hit as well, I think if he'd gone through the broken back and then COVID and not actually got back out, it would have been a harder journey for him. So he loves what he does. He says he doesn't, but he does.
No, I feel his pain. I was in a motorcycle wreck back in February 22nd, 1987. A date will live in my head in infamy. But I broke my leg. I got a pin in my leg. I broke my elbow. I have it all wired up. And they had me on my feet in 2 days, even with a pin in my leg, had me on crutches or a walker. And I was out. I was well on my way. Thankfully, I was only 17 years old and made of rubber. So you have your Wolverine powers still. You can heal at that time. When you're older, I don't think I would have bounced back as quickly at this point. But I'm glad your husband made it through. He's convalescing. Is he fully recovered?
No, he's as fully as well. He gets a lot of back pain, and obviously he sits down quite a bit. But of course, all the treatments stopped with COVID. So where he should have had physio and rehabilitation, that all stopped because of COVID. So he didn't get any treatment till we came back to normality. So it was a bit late by then. Damage had already been done. But I sometimes think that, again, that was done. We were so busy. We were sort of gigging 340 days. gigs in a year. And I think that was the universe way of saying, you need to slow down a little bit. You need to actually realise that there's more to life than just, I'd go anywhere. You know, if someone phoned and said, can you go to Scotland? I'd be like, yeah, if they want us, we're going to Scotland. And I think it was, you know, someone of saying, just slow down a little bit and have a little stock of what's going on around you rather than just here, there and everywhere. So,
I know the men in my life have taught me to be macho and to work through the pain. Just work through it. My grandfather in particular, he's my Mr. Miyagi. He was the man who taught me, toughen up, just work through it. You're too young to be so fat. Get in the gym, go run, go work out, do your thing. And he taught me a lot about life as he saw it. You know, he's a man's man. He was in the Navy, and you know, he inspired me to be the person that I am today. And he passed a long time ago. And until the memory goes away, he won't have that second death, as far as I'm concerned. No way, no how. But I'm glad your husband got well enough. I know when I was working at the hospital, we had a saying, every step towards recovery could be your last. So you kind of, when you're convalescing, you think, well, I'm in the back of my head, maybe I won't stand upright. Maybe I won't be Homo erectus anymore. I'll be kind of bent over a little bit. Or there might be those times when I can't get out of bed and play my guitar. Maybe I'll play from here. Maybe I'll play sitting down. And I see he is sitting down in a couple of the videos. Is that the back pain?
Yeah, he's just not as strong as he was. A lot of core strength gone and stuff. So, but he's still doing. He's still playing. He's still loving it. So
yeah, I'm glad he's with you. I mean, I'm thankful that I have a wife that, yeah, I could work with her. Her desk is right next to mine. We designed it that way. She asked me, do you mind if I'm in the same office as you? I do not mind at all. I like being with her. It's a wonderful thing when you find love. There's a part of our Declaration of Independence or Constitution, the pursuit of happiness. And I'm glad I got that happiness. I'm glad you have that happiness. You have a person that you can work with 24/7. And no, that's. I hope it's not as rare as I think it is. I hope that people, when they find love, they want to be with that person. I know that there's people that complain. I watch. Sometimes I watch reruns of Family Feud, and they say top 100 men asked about their women, and they complain about their women. And I don't know why that popped in my head, but if you go to a club, there's men complaining about their wives, and wives complaining, women complaining about their husbands, and you hate to see it. I want everyone to be happy as you are, as happy as I am, with our partners, our respective partners. And I see it in your face when you talk about them. You have a glow. It's shining through the Zoom camera. I like it. I like it a lot. You like your husband. You love him.
Yeah. Well, we've been since we were 16. So.
Wow. High school sweethearts?
Well, no, we didn't know each other in school, but we met just after school because we finished school at 16 and then go off to college. But we were, and we were like chalk and cheese. This is where we were very, very different, came from different backgrounds. He was very, very quiet. I was quite outspoken, still am. So that's where the reference of chalk and cheese. But even though we are so different, and really, we never should have been compatible, but yet we've been together since we were 16. We've had ups and downs and, highs and lows, but, and that's where the song came from, really, was even though we're so different, we still work. Yeah. It drives me crazy sometimes.
Well, I understand that completely. My wife is the outgoing one. I'm the quiet one. Oh, wait, I reverse that. Yeah, she's the quiet one. I'm the outgoing one. But she's the funny one. At our wedding, she we came out in Groucho glasses when they introduced us, and everyone looked at me. Oh, you were the one that did that. No. She went to the party store and she bought the Groucho glasses, and we came out in the Groucho glasses. So she'll sneak up on you and make you laugh, and that's a good thing. But you said he didn't even play guitar. Were you playing any instruments when you were a kid?
Well, I dabbled in lots of instruments, and I was one of those lucky people that I could play by ear. So it didn't really matter what I picked up. I taught myself to play keyboard and flute and that sort of stuff, but I never really kept it up. I didn't. It was a bit of this and a bit of that. So it wasn't until I started writing, and I'm still not a great guitarist either. I don't class myself as a great guitarist, but I can do enough to know where I need the songs to go. So, and I'm getting better and better as I go on.
Yeah,
but he's been brilliant.
I've talked to a lot of musicians, and I think the general consensus is if you're playing an instrument and you're trying to sing at the same time, one of those two is going to get pushed back. The late, great B.B. King, when you listen to him sing and play Lucille, his guitar, they're not at the same time. He'll do stop blues. Bam, 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 boom. I was once a little boy. Bam, 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 boom. And that it's not at the same time. And I, Phil Collins trying to sing while he's playing, trying to keep the beat. It amazes me, but you can tell the singing would be a lot smoother if he didn't have to keep the beat on the drums. And it shows when he gets out from behind that drum kit and sings out on the stage with nothing at all. And I'm guessing it's the same with you. I mean, I know I'm projecting. When you play guitar, do you think it takes away from your singing a little bit?
Especially when I'm gigging, I like to be on a walkabout mic. I like to, I'm quite a passionate singer, and I like to feed off the audience. So I always find that the guitar puts a barrier between you and the audience. I don't think you can get that connection as well as you can when you haven't got a musical instrument. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Well,
same token, you're talking about the barrier. Some musicians that I've talked to are very shy, and they do need that barrier. In fact, they'll get on this podcast and they'll be holding a guitar like it's a baby blanket, like it's a binky in their mouths, where they feel more comfortable when they have the guitar. Mel Tillis, a country singer, had a stutter, but when he sang, he had no stutter. He sang through it. And I've heard other people that have had stutters and speech impediments, when they sing, it goes away. And it's just two different parts of your brain. So you don't feel like you need a barrier, a fence between you and the audience. You want to get out there with that wireless mic and just be in the audience. Do they appreciate that? Because I know, I talked about Mick Jagger at 107 years old. The man is still going. I thought the Steel Wheelchairs tour, I'm sorry, it was the Steel Wheels tour back in the 80s or 90s. I thought that was the last tour, and they're still doing it. Do you want to have that staying power to where you're not going to stop singing till they put you in a box?
Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be doing it forever, I think. I hope. As long as I can.
Yeah, I was looking at my records, and it says, I can retire at 67. I'm not retiring. I enjoy doing this too much. I like talking to people. I like talking to Leanne Kelly and finding out what's going on over there in Norfolk. Now, if you were on the Norfolk Bureau of Tourism, what is there to do in your town? Are you still living there?
Yes, yeah. So I'm originally from Surrey, which is down below London, right down the bottom. But we moved up to Norfolk because it's more countryside, it's more quieter life. So if I was to sell Norfolk, we have Broads. I don't know if that's an American term. So a network bit like canals and rivers. They're like big rivers, but they all connect into each other. So we have what they call the Norfolk Broads, and that's a massive selling point because you can take the hire boats and you can just poodle on down through the Broads, through the country, on a boat, which is lovely. So that's the Norfolk Broads is quite an attraction here.
I just learned a new term. I'm from Florida, way down south, where there is ocean and boating and sun and sand and beaches, and then I moved to Arkansas because my wife is from here, and yes, I was on the radio down there. I was on the morning show. I had a great career, and she said, "I miss my mama." And you do things for your partner. You go where it's going to make them feel better. And I started my life all over at 40 years old, but I'm doing just fine. I got my gigs. I got what I need. And I get to talk in the microphone and talk to nice people like you. So you were dabbling in the instruments. Do you still play piano? Do you still play any of the wind instruments?
I just settled with a guitar, the acoustic. And just, I use it when I write, and I use it when I do my original songs. Some of them, not all of them, more the slower sort of stuff. But yeah, no, just guitar now.
Very good.
But I always find whenever anyone says anything, they say, "Oh, you don't really play an instrument." Well, my vocal is my instrument. That's an instrument in itself. So,
Well, when did you figure out that you could sing? Were you doing that in school?
Yeah, I was in the choirs at school, and we did a lot. And I did do a lot of auditions when I was younger. I don't audition very well. It's very strange. And I'm a very different singer. I'm a very different live singer than I am on a recording. So I'm a lot more powerful and a lot more rougher, I suppose, on a live gig. I get very much more... I need the audience to give me that feed, and the more they feed me, the louder I get. So I'm quite, like you say, I'm quite sweet in the studio. Not so sweet when I'm live.
Well, that's where a good sound man comes in. A good sound designer, whoever's working that mixing board. That's such an important person when you're going live. And I've been to some venues that have terrible acoustics. So trying to get the sound right, aim the speakers properly, get that mix properly, so it has some semblance of good sound. You want that Leanne Kelly sound to get out to the people. But if you don't have soundproofing on the walls or at least carpet in the room, you're going to get bounce. So are there good venues in Norfolk, or there places that you play regularly? You can give them shout outs.
Well, we play a lot. We travel the whole country because obviously with it being a country circuit, you don't want to be seen too many times in the same area. So we do have good venues and bad venues. Like you said, when you walk into one and there's no carpet and everything's plastic, no curtains on the wall, you're like, oh, this is going to be interesting. This sound is going to be an interesting sound. So that's when you're going to have to really ramp up the sound and really get to the bottom of how it's sounding. And then obviously some venues you can walk into and it's a brilliant sound instantly. Just yeah.
Now, do you play at venues that have their own PA systems, or do you have to bring your own PA?
We normally bring our own. The only time we don't is probably big festivals. When they do the UK festivals over here, you'll get a sound man, which is nice sometimes. Sometimes not. It's always, again, it's a risk. If you don't know the sound man, you're giving him your sound and you're hoping that he's going to do it justice for you, because obviously you don't know what's going out front when you're on stage. So you have to put a lot of trust in the sound man.
Yeah. Well, who's got the duties to handle the mixing board? Is that you or the husband, or do you share the responsibility?
I go out front on my walkabout mic, and I look at him and go, "No, that sounds awful." Then I'll go back on stage, and he goes back out and does. We've got a digital mixer, so it works on an iPad. So I leave it to him, and then I have the final say, obviously, because I'm a woman, and that's what women do.
Yes,
it sounds fine.
I often say that at weddings, the two most important words are "yes, dear." Learn that, man.
Yeah, he'll go out and he'll say, I'll go out and I'll say my vocal sounds really loud. Can we bring it down? And he'll say no, because halfway through the gig, someone's going to come over and say, we can't hear her vocal. So I think he says he does, but he doesn't. He just makes me feel good. But in actual fact, he doesn't change anything.
You kids with your iPads and your technology. That's the first time I saw a sound man using an iPad, like from everywhere, getting that sound proper. I knew that, hey, technology, you got to move with it. We talked about AI in the beginning. You got to move with that technology, or it's just going to run you over. You cannot stay back in the 1600s and keep using the instruments. I think about the Amish. Yeah, they don't use technology. Yes, they do, to a certain point. Like they stopped in the 1600s. That's where their technology stopped. But they still have hammers and nails. And hey, that's technology. It's not like they're driving stuff with their hands and, pulling bark. So we're using the technology that's available today. I got a computer doing the audio behind me and the videos in front of me. So, and you're making music videos using AI. That is crazy to me. And it looks so good. Do you feed it your picture and then the idea you want? And it just, because it used to be jib jab. Every Christmas you'll see the me dressed like an elf. La, 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 la,
I remember that. So it's a bit like they give you a storyboard. You get a lot better effect if you can dress as you want to be seen in the video, and then you literally put in each storyboard scene, and then you can just keep changing it until you get it roughly how you want it to be. Yeah, they're clever, very, very clever.
Well, you can give shout outs. I want people to know how Leanne Kelly does what she does. And you're primarily teaching the next generation. Do you want to divulge what you're using, or is that something you want to keep to yourself?
It's an app called Neutral Frames, but there's lots of other ones out there. But we just found that one worked better with the way we work. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. You need to word it right how you want the AI to pick up what's in your head into the AI. You've got to try and transport. But if you can dress in what you want to be seen in, that is a lot easier than trying to explain, put her in a dress that is yellow and dotted, or black trousers. So it's easier to have an actual visual that you can put in as a character. That works better. But yeah, Neutral Frames, brilliant app. Brilliant app.
Yeah, I think ChatGPT made my profile picture where it caricatured me, and I've been having fun with the photo part. And I know some friends that I've seen. Oh, that's pretty neat. How'd they do that? Oh, okay, I figured it out, and now I do it. That's really cool. I'm kind of a gearhead. I like to know what gear people are using. And you say you have a friend that's been in a band that's helping you to record the professional part of it. It's nice to have someone with a good ear that can mix and master the music. You have a great idea. You send them, I guess, what do they call it, a scratch track? You record that on your phone or your iPad? You have something at the house?
Yeah, we've got a little studio at the house, so we can, but it's not up to that standard. But it's great for a demo just to send over, and so he gets the idea. But he's brilliant. He's one of those. He's actually quite annoying because he'll come back and he'll give me the track, and he'll say, "Oh, I programmed the drums, but I did the guitar, the violin, the piano, the bass, the this and then that." And then you're like, "All right, okay, you did it all, really? You just played all those instruments?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's nothing. No problem. thank you, Mr. Prince, for playing every album, every instrument ever known, picking it up by ear. You said you could play stuff by ear, but it's
not like that though.
It's amazing when you meet a savant that can play everything by ear, or even with notes, even with musical notes. So you don't read music then, I'm guessing.
I've lost you.
You don't read music then. Still here. Hello.
Bro.
So you don't read music then?
No.
It's amazing how many musicians that I've talked to that don't read music. They play by ear, or they'll find tabs and play that way. Yeah. So any gigs coming up real soon that people can go visit the Leanne Kelly show?
I'm out on Friday at Manston, which is Kent, which is like right down the bottom of England, to the right-hand side. And then Saturday I'm up in Essex, which is just below where I am. And then Sunday I'm down towards London way, sort of just be like the top of London, Harlow. So yeah. So we've got Margaritaville on Saturday. They've all got US names. Margaritaville Country Music Club.
Well, watch out in Kent, because I heard Werewolves of London. There's a hairy gent. He ran amok in Kent. You should see his tailor. So watch out. Watch out for the werewolves. All right. Well, are you playing mostly line dance music, or is it all originals, or are there covers?
Yeah, they're mostly covers. To be honest, that's where I sort of make my living, is the covers. But it's between line dance and, as I would call, like a more of a listener club, which you can get away with, all the classic country and all the like really good country that I love to sing. Especially some of the old girls like Patsy Cline and Tammy Wynette and Laurie Morgan, Heather Miles, all those sort of girls. And then I'll throw a few originals in here and there because if you don't publicise yourself, then you're not going to get anywhere. And then we do get a few gigs where it's just original music. I did a festival a little while back, which was all my stuff. But it's like what you said. They're strange, because when you do your own, well, especially for me, when I do my own stuff, it is like throwing yourself out there and being judged by, and you sort of wait then to see what the reaction is, to see what that judgment is. So, yeah.
Well, here's one. Do you ask for permission to play an original song, or do you just go into the song? Because hey, do you want to hear a Leanne Kelly song? You want to hear one of my originals? Or do you just go into the song and don't let them know?
Just go into it. I just go into it, and then if they're a bit quizzed, or afterwards I'll say, oh, that's my new track, that's my single off of my album that's down here, to then publicise the album and say, come on.
I think there's been some bands that have gone on Saturday Night Live, and they were supposed to play their hit, but they played a song off of the new album instead of playing the hit. And to the dismay of Lorne Michaels, the creator of that thing, but you got to take a chance. Sometimes you got to get out there and take a chance. And speaking of, is there an SNL in the UK now? A Saturday Night Live? Is there I've heard a rumor that there's a new show out there on Saturday nights.
I might have to go and have a look.
Well, all right then. Maybe it's just something that popped into my head. All right, let's land this plane. I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. Have you gone through every avenue that you wanted to explore? Have you told the people all about Leanne Kelly?
I think so. They can find me on all my social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I've got a website, leannekelly.com. And just YouTube, and just thank you for listening to my stuff, and send me a message. I'd love to hear from people. Would be good.
How about that social media? Are you into it? Is it fun? A lot of times I just post and ghost. I'm trying to to get into this TikTok thing. I had over 2,000 people on one of my accounts, and then when it got taken over, they canceled that account. So I had to start all over again.
Facebook, I had over 2,000 followers, and then it got hacked, and someone took it. And then they actually phoned me. Pete the hacker phoned me and asked me for money if I paid them £200, they'd give it back. And I was like, no, you can keep it.
All yours. Sell your Chinese amphetamines. Go ahead, go do your thing under the Leanne Kelly name.
Social media is hard work.
It is.
Be on it constantly, like one after. It's. I think for the youngsters, the real youngsters, that's how they've been brought up. They're constantly on it. But when you haven't been on it, so many. It was new to us, wasn't it? It's the amount of times you have to actually be posting, but then that's what people want to see. These big festivals, they want to see the following that you're bringing and the traffic that you've got coming across. So you have to have social media.
Yeah, you're talking about the kids that grew up with it, but there's no one more addicted to their phone than a baby boomer. These 60-year-olds and higher are looking at their phones, learning things, going down rabbit holes. Hey, look, it's a two-headed baby. It's real. It's real. Sure, it's real. Yeah. Oh, look, it's a rhinoceros with 3 heads. Yeah, sure. Got it.
She saw an advert of a goat wing walking on a plane at like 50,000 feet. She was like, I can't believe they did that. I'm like, no, it's not real. Yes, it is. Look, you can see. It's not real.
Look, that shark came out of the water and ate that helicopter. No. They're getting tricked, but it's fun. Use it for good. And I know people use it for mal, but you're using it for good. And hopefully I'm going to keep using it for good as well. Well, keep on doing the good things. Keep that smile on your face and keep on writing that good Leanne Kelly music. You say you got a new record album. Now, when they get the CD, my favorite thing when I was on the radio was grabbing an album and looking at the liner notes and saying, oh, Paul McCartney was thinking about this when he wrote this song. Let's listen to, Let It Be or whatever. I put the record on. It gives me fodder to talk about the music that I'm about to play. Do you have a story about the songs that you're playing? Are there liner notes in a Leanne Kelly compilation? Even if they get the USB, will they get some kind of a story about your music?
Not so much on a USB, but the CD has got, like my inspirations for the songs and thanking people that have helped me through. And, because there's a lot of people that, even my family, and obviously I dedicated a paragraph to my mum, just, because she was always my biggest supporter. So it's nice to be able to do that and, to be able to give information on the album. So, yeah. I like that.
I used to have thousands of albums. Now I'm down to one, and I stuck it to the wall because I don't even have a record player. I use digital turntables so I can control the MP3s and mix them and scratch them and do all kinds of different things. And then I have a couple of CDs that have been given to me over the years. They're also stuck on the wall. I think I could still play a CD if I had to, but I ripped them. I put them in my computer. I put them on radiowhat.com, and they play there. But it's art now, and that's what record albums were, and you say CDs still are. I like the artwork. They were works of art, and they still are. I know they're making a comeback. I go to my local superstore, and I see records, and I go, who's buying these things? Because I don't even have the 2 turntables and a microphone. Digital wheels of steel. It makes it easier for me to buy a Leanne Kelly song and put it on my turntables.
Yep.
That's what I'll be doing this weekend. Except I'll be doing the video version because I'm kind of a video DJ. and I'll be playing your AI video up there, and they'll go, "Who is that?" Leanne Kelly. All right. Like I said, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. Let's finish this thing off. I always finish with last words for the people. It could be words to live by. It could be something you heard a long time ago, a mantra you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Leanne Kelly, Kelly Cobbett, give the last words for the people.
Don't ever stop chasing your dreams. Chase them as long as because it's the thrill is chasing them, but the achievement is actually getting hold of them and catching them. So you're never too old. Never too old.
Well, there you have it, party people. Leanne Kelly out there in Norfolk and all over England, all over the UK. So stoked to know that she's a touring musician. I didn't ask her. Oh, I didn't ask if she was driving or flying. Probably driving. The UK, even though it doesn't look that big, I'm sure it's pretty big to drive across. But going all the way south to Kent and all the way up to Scotland. That's fantastic. That's fantastic that you have all those people that can experience the Leanne Kelly sound. Since you have your husband there, why you still call it Leanne Kelly? You haven't come up with a band name for the two of you? Nah, it's all right. You're the one out front, Leanne Kelly. I'm glad you have your hubby that's playing music with you. You're a good team, and it seems like you spend a lot of time together, and I appreciate that. That's a wonderful thing that you found a partner that not only can you live your life with romantically, but also professionally. That's a great thing. It was good to meet you, Leanne Kelly, and I look forward to hearing more from you. I'll be following you around on your social medias. All the links are in the show notes, so check those out. And that's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now if you would like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email KeysDAN@AOL.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.